lens choice can seriously affect how your audience experiences your story. So how do you pick the right one? Today, we're going to guide you through selecting the ideal lens to complement your narrative. This is just one of the videos from our course, Storyteller's Guide to Lenses, but there's so much more to learn. As a VideoMaker Plus member, you'll get access to over 45 courses on every aspect of video production, like our course on the basics of visual storytelling. It, like this one, will help you take your videos to the next level. And right now, you can get free unlimited access. Just click on this card and sign up now. Don't miss this chance to improve your videos. Choosing a lens is one of the most important decisions you can make as a storyteller. Your choice influences not just the look of your video, but also the mood and message. Factors like focal length, aperture, and zoom range all play a role in how your video turns out. But how do you know which lens to use for which situation? Well, it depends on what kind of story you want to tell and what kind of video you are making. We're going to give you some examples of lens setups for 3 common types of videos: documentaries, weddings and events, and interviews. Let's start with documentaries. Documentaries are all about capturing the reality of a situation or a person. You need a lens that can show your audience what's authentically happening on screen. However, you also need a lens that can adapt to unexpected changes. So what kind of lens should you use for a documentary? Well, one option is to use an everything zoom. This is a lens that can shoot everything you throw at it. It has a wide zoom range from wide angle to telephoto that allows you to capture different perspectives and angles without changing lenses. It also has a fast aperture, which means it can perform well in low light situations and create a shallow depth of field. A great everything zoom is the Tamron 28-75 f2.8. This lens has a focal length range of 28 to 75 millimeters, which covers most of the scenarios you might encounter in a documentary. This lens has a constant aperture of f2.8, allowing you to maintain some brightness throughout its zoom range. Another option is to use a combination of prime lenses. Prime lenses are lenses that have a fixed focal length, such as 24mm or 35mm. Usually primes offer a large aperture, creating bokeh and separation between your subject and background. A nice 2 prime lens setup for documentaries is the Tamron 24-35 f2.8 prime lenses. With a max aperture of f2.8, you'll get some really nice bokeh and solid performance in low light. You'll need to swap out lenses more often, which can eat up time and get tricky in unexpected situations. Plus, without a zoom function, you'll have to physically move the camera to reframe your shot, and sometimes that's just not doable. So, should you use a everything zoom or a prime lens for your documentary? There's no right or wrong answer here. It all comes down to your personal preference and style. Some documentaries prefer the convenience and versatility of an everything zoom lens, and other prefers the quality and look of prime lenses. You have to experiment to find out what works best for your project. But if you have the budget and space, you can use both. Now let's talk about wedding and live events. They're all about capturing all of the candid moments of a special occasion. You want to show the audience the beauty and joy of the event. You also want to be prepared and professional because you only have one chance to get it right. So what kind of lens or lenses should you use for weddings and or events? One option is to use multiple zoom lenses for the best performance regardless of distance or available light. Zoom lenses allow you to change your focal length quickly and easily without changing lenses, but they can have variable apertures, so adapting to different lighting conditions could be an issue if so. Both the Tamron 17-28 f2.8 and the Tamron 28-75 f2.8 and the Tamron 70-180 f2.8 are examples of zoom lenses that would work nicely for weddings and live events. These focal length ranges cover the wide angle, standard, and telephoto ranges, and they have a consistent aperture of f2.8. This means they can maintain the same brightness throughout the zoom range. Alternatively, you can use a combination of prime and zoom lenses for live events. Since prime lenses can capture highly cinematic shots thanks to their larger aperture and shallower depth of field, they're perfect for wedding videos or a large event. An example of a combination prime zoom lens setup for wedding events is the Tamron 24mm f2.8, the Tamron 35mm 2.8, and the Tamron 17-50 f4. They have focal lengths of 24mm, 35mm, and 17-50mm, and have great maximum apertures for mirrorless cameras of f2.8 or f4. Depending on your preference, if you want to use multiple zoom lenses, you'll get a ton of flexibility. If you use a combination of primes, you'll have a setup focused on image quality. As with documentary filmmaking, if you can bring both setups, do so. Finally, let's talk about interviews. Interviews are all about capturing the essence of someone's character and message. You want to show the audience who they are and what they have to say. So what kind of lens should you use for interviews? When you have the flexibility to set your camera's position, prime lenses are a great choice. They have a fixed focal length that can communicate the story of the interview better than a zoom lens. However, using a prime lens for your interviews also has its challenges. You have to set up your camera at a fixed distance from your subject, so an alternative is to use a zoom lens for interviews. Zoom lenses allow you to change their focal length without moving your camera or changing lenses. They can feature variable apertures that can adapt to shifting light conditions on the fly. Again, what you choose depends on you, the type of interview you're shooting, and your shooting situation. You just watched one of the videos from our course, Storyteller's Guide to Lenses, but there's so much more to learn. As a VideoMaker Plus member, you'll get access to over 45 courses on every aspect of video production, like our course on the basics of visual storytelling. It, like this one, will help you take your videos to the next level. And right now, you can get free unlimited access. Just click on this card and sign up now. Don't miss this chance to take your videos to the next level. Thanks for watching.